Hi everybody and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be taking a look at Spero Toys Animal Warriors of the Kingdom, Gladiator Atreiu and Gladiator Pale. If Saturday morning cartoons fueled your imagination as a kid and powers your action figure collecting now as an adult, then you're in the right place. Thanks for stopping by and welcome to Saturday Morning Toy Collecting.
And if you like my content, please consider subscribing.
All right, here we have the boxes for Gladiator Pale and Atreiu. And if you guys are following along in the comics, these characters show up in issue 3 where they fight the Void, which is another fantastic looking figure that'll be coming soon, like in the next wave, where they fight the Void in the Gladiator arena. And it looks like his sword has come loose and has fallen there. But here we have Pale, who is, of course, the leader of House Chunari, and or the last heir to the House Chunari, and the main protagonist of the AWOK story. So we've got some weapons in here, a couple of extra hands. Then flipping around here on the back, of course, we do have some artwork and a little write-up. So if you want to pause that and give it a read, you certainly can. And then here we have Atreiu, who is the prince of House Fairless. And again, we have some nice artwork out there on the back. We have this little write-up right there, so if you want to pause that and read it. Sorry, my light's in the way. Of course, we have his father, the king, the Lion King, for lack of a better moniker, coming in a future wave. But hey, we're not here to talk about packages. Let's get them opened up and take a closer look at everything these guys have to offer. All right, starting off with Gladiator Pale and his accessories. We're going to start off with, he comes with 2 fists, which is really nice. You can see the little plugs that they use. These are both on horizontal hinges. He is going to come with 2 gesturing hands, which I really appreciate. Anytime, a company decides to give us gesturing hands, I really appreciate that. It's not just punching or weapon holding hands, both on horizontal hinges. And then on him, out of the package, we have 2 gripping hands. This one, his right hand, is on a vertical hinge, and his left one is on a horizontal hinge. He does come with 2 weapons because they are just thrown into the Gladiator arena, into the pit, and they just kind of grab whatever they can. These events take place in issue 3 of the comic, if you're following along, and so you get 2 of these knife short sword style weapons that we've seen before. They're just cast in like this dark gray plastic with a little bit of black on the handles. And then we come to this really nice shield that I kind of feel like the aesthetics of this shield kind of fit Atreiu a little bit better, because this is a very rusted shield, has a very brown look to it. You can see it was cast in brown and the silver was like dry brushed on. But I love this. Their painting is getting better and better. Their paint applications, especially with the weapons, because when you see Atreiu, boy, his weapons are rusted up. They look beautiful. But one of the really cool things is that you get this plug handle that is very reminiscent of the style of handle that we get with Mythic Legions. So you can put this on either side. You can have him hold it, upside down or right side up, or you can put it over here. But you also get this this little plug piece. And if you're wondering what this little plug piece is for, it's so that you can take the shield, you can plug this in here, and then take this and plug it into the little hole on their back, which his little ponytail gets in the way, and then you can plug it into their back, and you can have shield storage for their back. And I think that that's really cool. That's something a lot of figures nowadays don't give us, and I really dig it. So yeah, now let's take a look at Pale himself. All right, here is Pale straight out of the package, standing straight up and down, and he is looking pretty good. Unfortunately, I don't have the original Pale or the original Atreiu to compare these guys to. I just have their Gladiator updated looks, but I am going back and I am filling in all the gaps for my AWOK figures that I don't have. So I'll be collecting them over the next few months, and maybe I'll do a retro review and then throw these guys in there. But here we have Pale standing straight up and down. He's got all of the war paint on him that you see in the Gladiator arena in issue 3. I love the mismatched armor here, how there's silver on the arm, on the right arm, but silver on the left leg, and then sort of like this I don't even know what kind of color to call this, kind of like a brick red color on his right leg and left arm, but also around the waist. And that waist armor is really good. All of this armor is reused. We've seen it all before, but when you repaint it and stick it on a different figure, it just gives a different look and a different aesthetic, and I'm down for it. So let's get this guy off the rotating base and take a closer look at some of that detail. All right. Let's see here, man, where to start. This head sculpt, of course, this is going to be the exact same as the other Pale that we've gotten before. Just repaint. I'm trying to punch in here so we can see those eyes. They just look so good. I love the war paint. That red, brick red war paint on this figure just looks great. He does have this crazy mohawk going on, and then the braids coming down in the front. Not really braids, but the locks coming down in the front, and then this little ponytail, rat tail. This dude is, you know, warrior in the front, party in the back, all the way around. Parts of the armor, we've seen this before. This is, you know, this goes all the way back to the very first loot crates that we got with these Wave 1, the armor set. We've seen this armor before. Before, I believe we've seen it in like a bright bluish color, but when you paint it this silver hammered metal look, it just gives it like a more realistic look, and it just looks really good. I like the idea of taking these guys in a more realistic, more grittier look. Maybe in the very beginning they were more Saturday morning cartoon colors, but now they're getting deeper into the story, and that's reflecting in their armor, and I really dig that. I thought this might have been a brand new loincloth piece because I don't remember seeing this belt armor before, but actually it is reused. This came on Lexion from, I believe, Wave 2, who is like my favorite character in the waves. Like, he's just my favorite. I just love his design. We've got more war paint here on the chest, more on the arm. That leather band goes all the way around. Of course, all this armor is rubbery and removable. You guys know the drill. You do have to soak the figure and then almost take it fully apart to be able to change out that armor, but you can do it. We've got the double jointed knees down here. We've got the armor. Of course, this is also removable. If this is the first time for you ever seeing a AWOK figure or a Spero Toys figure, let's go over the articulation for you guys. Now, his head's going to be a little limited, as you can see, because of the braids and the ponytail, but you know, you do have like limited articulation around the neck. He can look up and down about this far. That's about the only range you're going to get, and then some bobble here. You can go all the way out to the sides because this is rubbery, soft rubbery plastic. It is going to get out of the way. Arms can hit that T-pose, no problem. We can go all the way around. There is a very generous butterfly joint. Goes a little bit further back than it does forward. We do have upper bicep swivel. We have double jointed, although pinned elbows. You're going to get a range of motion about like that. The hands, depending on which ones you have in, either have a horizontal or a vertical hinge on them and full rotation. We do have that Marvel Legends style ab crunch, and you can hear that nice clicking in there. It also rotates at the waist, so we get both of those, which is really good. A lot of times Hasbro skimps on that. If they give us this, they won't give us the rotation. There's no drop down to the hips, but there is an upper thigh cut. Legs can go forward about that far, can go out to the side, get the arm out of the way about that far, and then can go back a generous amount. You know, going back is not always the easiest for action figures, depending on how they have the butts designed. You have double jointed knees here, but you're only going to go back about that far. There is no knee or upper calf swivel, and then down here we do have a hinge and a forward-facing pin, and then no swivel. But that's the articulation for this guy. He's looking pretty dope. Let's turn our attention to Atreiu. Starting off with Atreiu's accessories, he does come with 2 fists, both on horizontal hinges. He does come with 2 gesturing hands, both on horizontal hinges. And then on him, out of the package, he does come with 2 gripping hands. This one is on a horizontal hinge. This one is on a vertical hinge. His weapons are absolutely incredible. Just check out the amount of weathering and rust on this knife here. It just looks beautiful. It is so rusty and gnarly, looking very fantastic. Next up, we have this little short sword, again, just as rusty and beautifully painted as the first. Again, you guys know how this goes because we also have this beautiful shaft to go along with it, and it is keyed. So if you rotate it into the proper orientation, you can get it to plug in, and then that short sword becomes a staff, which looks really nice and is great. And then probably my favorite weapon that I may be giving to other members. I wish I had 10 of these swords. They're so beautiful. I love the rust and the dry brushing on here. It just looks great. And then like, this is sort of like a blackish, bluish gray handle. And this is why I was saying the shield that comes with Pale really looks like it could go along with the weapons that come with Atreiu. You know, all of these weapons would have, the armory would have been found in the arena, in the gladiatorial arena, and they're going to be old and used and scarred and damaged and rusted over. So I really could see Atreiu using the shield and the sword for sure, and then giving the just the newer blades to Pale. But these very much resemble one of each other in the paint department. And these weapons are beautifully painted, some of the most beautifully painted accessories in the entire line, which just shows that Spero is really putting like time and effort into upgrading the characters in future waves. And we know that because the subsequent waves like 4, 5, and 6 are going to be giving us like new body types, females, and all kinds of stuff. So here's Atreiu standing straight up and down right out of the package. And again, we've seen all this armor before. It's just repainted, and I absolutely love it. Again, like with Gladiator Pale, we're seeing less of those bright, vibrant Saturday morning cartoon colors and more of the muted, more metal, more gritty colors. As the story grows darker, so does the armor these guys use, and it reflects that. And I really love the fact that they are weaving both the comic book story and the figure releases together so tightly. You know, it's just like with Star Wars. It's like you want to have Luke in his Hoth gear, but then you also want to have Luke in his Dagobah gear. And that's, you know, perfectly great. I love the way they tie it together, and doing that with the comics and the figures is perfect, so that we can have our favorite looks from our favorite characters across the whole story. So yeah, let's get this guy off the rotating base and punch in on some of the details of his armor and paint job. All right, taking a closer look here, Atreiu is looking amazing. I love the blue war paint across the face, the dark blue paint, just like with the muted colors, just like Pale's darker red with the muted colors, look fantastic. I really love the designs of the war paint on these guys. It just really brings out their more feral nature, pun fully intended. Again, we've seen this armor before, but here we have it in like this gold motif. This is a well-used loincloth piece that's been seen on numerous figures, and I absolutely love it in this colorway. The browns and the muted blues look great together. Again, all of this is removable. The articulation is the same because with most of the Wave 1, Wave 2, and Wave 3 AWOK figures, they're all using the same buck, whether they're the cat people, whether they are the ape people, you know, whether, you know, yeah, they're using the same buck. This piece, of course, is sculpted on, and yeah, and then everything else is removable. And yeah, he just looks absolutely fantastic. So let's get him up on the rotating base with Pale and give our final thoughts. All right, here we have our two heroes back to back, facing the Void and the Horrid in the arena. These two guys look great together. The colors play well with each other, and the war paint just really makes them stand out. Again, to me, it's the paint that is the star of the show. With this new wave of figures, they're really, really coming into a new era. And if you guys have seen just what's in store for waves 4, 5, and 6, man, Spero really has some treats of new figures coming our way. Like what they've got lined up for us is just going to be amazing. I love these two. It's going to be hard pressed for me to want to go back and get the original versions of Pale and Atreiu when they are so much more plain and basic compared to these guys, but I'm definitely going to, because I need to fill those gaps, and I want to fill the spaces on my shelf. But these guys look amazing. Like if you've ever had any reservations about picking them up, now is a perfect time to do so, because Spero Toys has been running basically their Christmas sale since or maybe their Black Friday sale since Black Friday. I mean, their prices are really low right now. Just keep in mind that if you do order a figure like Onyx, which is like their black base figure, your shipping time may be a little bit longer, because I believe that their distribution center in New Jersey is having a hard time keeping that particular figure in stock. I just placed an order that had that figure in it, and it took about 2 weeks to ship, but I placed another order without that figure, and it shipped within just a couple of days. So now is a perfect time to head over to Spero Toys, and then check out their prices, because they are seriously slashed. You can pick up some really, really good deals, plus pre-order all the new waves that are coming out. So let me know in the comments down below. Are you in on AWOK? Do you collect them? If so, what are your favorite figures that you've bought so far? And are you creating your own with the weapons and the loot crates and the basic figures that come out? I'd love to know. Let me know in the comments down below. Thank you guys so much for tuning in and watching. I super appreciate it. Please continue to check us out over at Instagram at Saturday Morning Toy Collector. I am your Saturday Morning Toy Collector, Mark, and I will see you in the toy aisles.